Hi, this is Dean from Sentinel Soap. In today's project, I'm going to be making another loaf of fresh coffee. So the first one I did had white at the bottom and then dark brown at the top. In this loaf today, I'm going to make dark on the bottom and white on the top. Then I'm going to top it off with some brown mica and do like a little swirly pattern on top. I've done this loaf before, but I never filmed it. So I'm going to put up a photo on the screen right now. So this is what it looks like. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get the exact same because I didn't actually write down any of the measurements, I just winged it. So I'm going to try and duplicate that today. So I've got my clear base, which is for the bottom of this loaf, which makes it really dark. Then I've got my goat's milk, which I'm still going to be using cappuccino mica from Aussie Soap Supplies. And as it gets lighter to the top, I'm going to be using titanium dioxide from Aussie Soap Supplies. The top layer won't actually have a color, it will just be the goat's milk, which is a nice creamy color. For the fragrance, I'm going to be using fresh coffee from Natural Candle Supply. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so this is 275 grams of clear, and I've added some cappuccino mica to it and 5 mils of fragrance, which is about 2% when you times it by the 4 layers that I'm going to be doing. So in we go. We've got no layers underneath, so we can just pour as hot as we want. Okay, so spray the top. Okay, so I'm going to let that set and then I'm going to add my goat's milk over the top of that. Okay, so this is layer number 2. It's mostly goat's milk soap with a little bit of clear thrown in just to make it a little bit brighter. So I'm going to spray the top of the loaf and I'm going to pour. Spray that. Now you might have noticed that I've kept a little bit in the bottom of this one. It's only because I've added an extra bit of clear to this base. So the next part of it won't have around about an extra 20 grams. And the reason why I've done this is because I want to use the color from this one in the next one. So what I'll do is I'll put about 255 grams of goat's milk into this and it will become a lighter brown for the next layer. Okay, so up to the third layer, and this is all goat's milk with that tiny little bit of brown that was left in there. Now, I don't know if you can tell the difference, but it's definitely much lighter. So we're going to spray the top of the loaf. Now I've added my 5 mils of fragrance. And I'm going to pour. Okay, so we're going to spray the top of the loaf. Okay, so that's the third layer. There's one more layer to go on top, which is going to be white. Okay, so this is the last layer, and I'm just going to spray the top. And this is goat's milk, 275 grams with 5 mils of fragrance in it. It's turned it somewhat, you can't really see it, but it's just creamy color. So here we go. Okay, so just going to spray the top. Okay, so this is the interesting part. I'm going to take my cappuccino mica. I'm hoping this works. I'm just going to pull out a little bit on my finger or drop it over the top. Just like that. And see if we can swirl it in. Now there's a method to this madness, I think. And that is from a distance, get your bottle of rubbing alcohol and just spray it. Okay, so we need a little bit more. I remember going over this about 4 or 5 times or something, and you get darker and darker as you do it. And I'm going to give this another little try with some more. That looks pretty good. I'm not going to touch that. Okay, so that's it for today. I'm going to leave this overnight. I'm going to come back tomorrow morning and cut it up. And hopefully I've achieved exactly what I did before. Okay, so it's the next morning and I am going to unmold this fresh coffee. Oh wow. Yep, that worked. Super! That looks awesome. Great connections. That's not going to fall apart. Well, I hope not anyway. Alright, time to cut her up. I'm not actually quite sure what's happening here, but the bottom is slightly round, so it's got a bit of a funny bend on it. I haven't had this problem before. It's a weird loaf, I think. I don't know what actually happened there, but it's got like a little round part, doesn't sit quite straight. It's really hard to cut. Alright, so this turned out pretty amazing, just like the last one. I'll put up a photo right now of what it was before and what it is now, so you can see the difference. So I'm pretty impressed with this. It's come out pretty amazing. I would have probably liked the second layer to be a little darker, and maybe even the third layer to be even a little darker than that. Maybe that should have been that color, and then there should have been one in between it. But apart from that, it looks really good. Yeah, so I'm really happy with this loaf, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and if you'd like, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.